So this is honestly the best conversation I've had about what makes creative partnerships work. Rhiannon Kagoe and I collaborated on a comic and a cover for my comic anthology, Print is Not Dead. And the process felt effortless in a way that's honestly rare. So we sat down and talked about why it worked, how we handled creative direction, gave feedback, and avoided the usual client collaboration chaos. Quick intro, if you don't know Kagoe, she's a watercolor illustrator and a comic artist based in Wales, UK. Her work blends horror, humor, queerness, and rats. She's also an incredible collaborator, and that comes through in this conversation. I think you'll see what I mean. And I hope this conversation helps you navigate your own creative partnerships better, or just gives you something to listen to while you eat your ramen noodles. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking to you, person who can't eat a meal without watching something. You're not alone. I'm the same way. All right, let's get into the conversation. I think I asked her this first. I feel like we had a really good work collaboration. I don't know if that was one-sided.
No, it was really good.
Please say yes. Did you feel this?
It was like, again, it's like, I don't usually do collabs. Like, usually when people email me their ideas, I just like, I don't want to say ghost because that sounds really harsh, but I just kind of be like, oh, I'm really busy and stuff. Whereas like this one, it kind of caught my eye. I was like, okay, yeah, I'd be silly not to like try it.
So I guess that actually brings me into the first question. You're amazing at interviews. You just naturally segue into it, whether you do it or not, on purpose. But what made you decide to say yes to the project when I first reached out?
I'm not looking at my notes. The main thing, I guess it was kind of that. It was like, I remember, okay, so when I was like a teenager, I was getting into manga. I remember I had this one manga book, but it was like proper thick, and it was like a mixture of manga and like comics, and it was like loads of different stories by different artists. And I remember I just kept rereading it for years, like it kept me engaged, and I liked seeing that many styles in one book. And yeah, I always thought that was cool. So when that opportunity came along, I was like, wouldn't it be kind of cool if someone picked it up, like, and just thought, oh wow, you know, inspiration in one book.
You love this one.
Yeah. And I was just like, and also it's cool because when you showed me like the what you have so far and seeing the other artists' work and seeing your ideas, but like in those different styles, I was just like, this is pretty sick.
That's awesome. It's like, I'm really glad that resonated because I'm always so afraid when I reach out to somebody that they're gonna say no thank you. Whether it's because they don't like the writing or something. So I'm really always appreciative to people who kind of get the vision.
Yeah.
And that's like one of the reasons I wanted to work with you as well, because I felt like you got it.
Thank you. Like, I don't know what the success ratio is, like how many artists you have to send out to. I can only talk
Well,
from
I'm
my,
pretty
like,
awesome,
like...
so it's not too many, but a lot of them say yes. But you know, there are the ones that I think it's like just an insecurity of nobody's gonna like me. But this isn't therapy, so don't worry about it.
No, I get that. I feel like, especially when you do like funny, like, because we both like comedy, right? And I feel like there's like that extra pressure when you do like quotations like funny comics and stuff. Like, there's more pressure for it to be like, I don't know, like it feels more vulnerable putting it out there because it's so subjective. So when I do like a comic and I'm just there like, oh, what these characters said this and stuff, people would easily be like, I don't get it. Like, the closest I get to like hate comments is just people just being like, I don't get it. And I'm just like, well, what can I can't help you. Like,
I guess on the opposite side, why do you like ghost or say no to other projects?
So I think one of the reasons, like, one of them can be if they're like, their ideas are too rigid. Like, if it's so clear that they have a very, very specific vision for it, it kind of puts me off as an artist. They will ask for like probably like a lot of changes. It'll probably be a very time consuming project where like I've seen some artists go through it where they talk about their clients and stuff and they'll be like, oh, they wanted me to change this tiny little detail on the face this much, or oh, they want to move this. And like, I feel like I do not have like the emotional investments to go through that. So yeah, too rigid is one of them.
Yeah.
Another one is I just don't vibe with like the content. Like, whether like, I don't know, they want to do some like mecha robot wars or something. I'm just kind of thinking, I want to fucking draw that. Like, it sounds like that sounds really unfun to draw.
Sounds
like,
a lot of work, a lot of yeah. So just having it resonate with the it's really hard because that's not really actionable content for anybody. Like advice, like just make good stuff.
Yeah, make good stuff.
It also
like, don't be too attached to your dreams. Like,
I think putting yourself out there as somebody who's easy to work with is probably the best actionable thing to do. Like,
yeah, I feel like I turn down more projects than accept. I feel like I'm kind of like fussy in that sense.
I think that's good, especially if you're building like a brand around yourself. Like, you want to kind of curate the people. Like, that's what I did with the project, right? Like, I curated all the artists. I didn't reach out to you just because I was like, I need an artist. I was like, oh, this really resonated with me.
Yeah.
And I really liked like the style, like the watercolor is just really, really awesome. And it's like, I don't know, it's just unique. And that's what I wanted to bring to Print is Not Dead. And I think you absolutely nailed it on the
Thank
head.
you. I appreciate that. Like, I think it would be quite funny if you
No
did start
problem.
the email with "I'm desperate for an artist," and then just like that. It's like I didn't want to have to do this, but you don't understand. Like,
You fucking suck, but I need someone so
you have
bad.
no idea
Please
how
help
the end
me.
of my tether I am.
Tangenting off of that, what makes a good project brief for you, or / an initial outreach email?
One of the reasons I liked the idea of yours was because you seemed genuinely like passionate about it. And I think that's so like if you know what you want and you're passionate about it and you're excited about the project, I think that's very like green flags and stuff. Whereas sometimes people come to a project and they're like either kind of like hesitant about it, like, oh, it's just something I'm kind of like wanting to do, or yeah, I'm not 100% sure where it's going to go from here, but I kind of want to do this. It's like I'd rather like someone approach me with like that passion, with knowing like, yes, I got a vision for this thing. It's going to be so cool. I'm just looking for like the right people. I think that's like way more encouraging.
Do you think you feel like that because if somebody isn't confident in your work, you don't think they're going to see it through and maybe like waste your time in that sense? Like,
yeah, I think it is that thing of like, if they're not like, if they don't have like, because I feel like you're very good at like setting deadlines and then doing like slightly flexible deadlines at the end. Like, okay, I'd want you to have it done by now, but here's like the very like the last time we do it. I think it's kind of good where if someone's just there like, oh yeah, hopefully by the end of this year, it feels like, okay, if this never takes off, then okay, it's nice to be paid for a project, but also like I want to see its like fruits, you know, I want to see this like come to life. I want to be excited to promote it rather than like another drop in the ocean. Like,
yeah, it feels like, and I feel the same way about like other projects that I've worked on. So I do like freelance editing, and you know they'll say we have this idea for a series or what we might be filming it, and I'm like, okay, well I'm not going to block off my time if it's a might be.
Yeah,
thing.
that's really. It's like, oh, it might be really good. Who knows? You know, it's like.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, let me know if it turns out good, I guess, and then. Kind of on the same tangent of working together. Now, we worked on 2 projects, the comic and then the variant cover, which looks amazing, by the way. I have it on my wall over here. I would take it off, but it's affixed to my wall, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's...
I think...
that was good.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, I'll say more. It was... yeah, so I was excited, because it's like... I was really glad you asked me to do that, because... I've always like kind of wanted to do a variant comic cover idea, like you see them in the comic stores and be like, and people hear people like, oh, this artist did this cover, blah blah, and like I like the hype around that. So when you asked me, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make time for this, and it's also fun to like spitball ideas about it because you were quite like, I'm not sure what I want to do for this, but I have the title of the thing, and.
So sorry, by the way, I don't know what I want. How. Do something,
but then it's also kind of cool
we
like,
did spend a lot of time.
I feel like we were quite good at like spitballing like the ideas and stuff, where I was like, okay, so it's called Print is Not Dead, Death, and then I kind of went from that. Really, I got 2 ideas for Death, Zombies, and Grim Reaper, and I quite like the fact that when we were doing like going the draft stage and stuff, we kind of found a way to like incorporate both designs, and it's like a little like, it's kind of like an Easter egg to us, but then also
almost like an Easter egg.
Death,
yeah,
you know, it makes sense.
What made it feel like productive to you instead of stressful? Like I feel like when a client comes to me, like I don't know what I want to do, I don't handle that the best. So what made you feel more comfortable in just like going out and doing your own thing, I guess?
I think it's the fact that like when I would like exchange ideas with you, you weren't just there like, don't like it. Like you gave like reasons why, or you were like, maybe put that in the maybe pile, and then rather than just being like, don't like it, like shutting it down without explanation, because like if you shut it down and then give a reason, it sort of points me as an artist into the direction of like, okay, so he doesn't like this, maybe this is the kind of stuff that he would like. And I think that made it more productive. I've been quite lucky with clients. I've never had like anyone be like totally like not good, not going to help you out, work out why. You know, I feel like as an artist, the last thing you want to do is feel like you have to both be the creator and like the riddle solver, you know, like
100%.
Yeah, because it does take a lot of like mental energy to think about like work from like completely scrap and stuff. And, like if that was the whole project, if the project was like, here's like nothing really to go by, go create something. You know, it's not as liberating or as like fun as that sounds.
Yeah, I think it definitely helped that I was like, this is a one thing. It's like a one commission that I don't know. Why did my lights turn off? Okay.
The coziness is gone.
we're in the dark now. I feel scared and alone. What if I do this? Can I do this?
That looks cozier. I still got like the ghost lighting.
All right, I'm sorry.
Don't be.
I guess it's probably easier when you have one project instead of like if I were to I would never do this to you, but like I feel like it's a lot easier to say like here's one thing I kind of have some ideas but I'm not really sure what it is versus I have a whole comic 22 pages of I'm not sure what I want, but good luck.
Can you guys like fill this book
Yeah.
for me? I just want a book of comics, okay? And then good luck. Like
it is good to know that having some sort of direction and then working together and giving like constructive feedback to point somebody in the right direction. We threw out like a lot of ideas out there and we had a few threads going on. What do you think helps like communication stay smooth during such a big project?
So I was thinking about that. I feel like having like for a big project, I feel like maybe if we were like talking on Discord, because like emails are good, but then sometimes there's like a gap between emails because whereas like Discord like boom, 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 like instant replies. So I would say I like the idea of like using emails for like important big updates, like for example like a WIP scan or things that you don't want to get lost in like loads of messages, whereas Discord's like, hey, quick question, what do you think of this idea before I develop and stuff. But then sometimes I quite like emails because there's like a slight pause between things. It gives me time to think. So when you didn't like what my initial ideas for the variant cover, I was like on a walk somewhere and I was thinking, well, I'll reply to something, get home. And then by the time I got home, I was like, actually, I got some ideas. Whereas it's like straight on like instant messages, I might have been like, or try to solve it at that moment, you know.
That is interesting that communication, like sometimes it's better to take, a little bit more time to respond because you can come up with new ideas.
Yeah.
Giving like ideas a place to grow. Like I feel like I get most of my great ideas on a walk. I just like when I'm away from everything and I'm not stressed, I'm like, oh.
I'm the same. Like when I'm traveling by coach and when I'm walking, I'm like mentally just like swilling my wine and be like, oh, what if I just did like that or something? But also for like big projects, like I'll make like a Word document. I feel like having a Word document and a folder just for that one specific project is good for communications because like you just put down all the keywords and nothing gets lost. And I feel like I'd be daunted if I was doing a big project and I wasn't like confident in that I knew every like fact.
I really like that. I never thought about like having a running doc. That's actually probably really helpful. I should start doing that just of like things you could see at like a glance.
I do that with commissions. I make a Word documentary and I'll put in like the words in bold, like the really important words. Like I know, for example, their hair has to be turquoise and turquoise would be like bold because like that's the thing they really want their character to have,
Yeah, because I just think about email threads, how everything kind of gets lost a little bit. So having a running doc, even if it's outside of a email chain, like or a shared doc, like what I make sometimes is I like make a drive, a Bible, like of all the things that I think are most important. Like if I'm working on a bigger project, like I want the action to look like manga, but I also want to, like have some cinematic things like from like Birdman or another pretentious movie. And I think
I need to see that. I've heard good things about it, so.
Oh, yeah. It was so good. It was amazing. I rewatched it for the first time in a while, and I was like, dang, this is art. This is really good. I forgot what we were talking about.
Yeah, no,
I love
I'm so sorry.
Birdman.
Oh, Word documents and how to keep a long project communication.
Oh, yeah. Having, I think what I was trying to get to eventually, and I would have got there. I just like the sound of my own voice, is like having a shared brain almost, like having a Bible that gets you into somebody's head is also really good and highlight the key points of it.
So I was going to say, like, another thing I wrote down was if you do like a long project, keep them updated with like life events. So they don't think that, oh, you've just gone quiet. You can be like, oh no, I've already booked the pre-booked holiday, so if I don't reply to updates for this is why. I feel like the least amount of like awkward silences, the better. Like, at least do like it depends on the project. I feel like if it's very much like, hey, here's this idea, you go do that, like at least a weekly email just to be like, hi, I've done this progress or something. But I was just trying to avoid as much. I feel like the longer you go about talking, the more like if I was a client, I would start like worrying. You want to feel like it's, even if it's not done yet, it's still on their minds. Like I feel like sometimes,
Yeah, keep it up to date and make sure it feels like front of mind for the person. I think as a client, I really appreciate that because it's like, I've worked with people who have ghosted me, and then I'm like, hey, you're kind of doing a job right now. Please don't do that.
yeah,
And then
like
they're
to
like,
them,
oh,
they
you're
might
right.
be
I'm
like, well, I'm
sorry.
80% done with the artwork, but you don't know that. So as far as you're aware, they could be on a beach
I have
somewhere,
no idea.
like not completely forgotten
Yeah.
about all the investment that you made on this project.
Do you think there was a moment where, our communication style either helped or kind of went against helping? Like the pros and the cons, I guess. Or am I just perfect and we're
Yeah,
awesome?
I would go that the last option. I think it was good. I think it was like, I like the fact the deadlines were like tight in the sense of like, right, this is the date that I want it done by. So in my head, I was like, okay, so he probably expects the pencil work's done by this. And if there's like a little gap in the progress, I could be like, hey, by the way, I'm in London for those days, but when I get back, I'll start working on it, and then I'll have something to send you by the end of the week. So yeah, I think it was good. I think it was like realistic deadlines. Like you weren't expecting this whole thing done and you got
Get it
2
done
weeks
tomorrow.
or something. Yeah, there's like flexible space for
Yeah.
like, I guess, life to happen. Or
Speaking of life happening, oh my, you had a dental emergency.
yeah,
But you still
that's
you did
you
not
can't
let
tell
it
because my
like
teeth are bleached
interact.
right now from like my British sun. If I hold on to that, you can actually see my face. But like, oh well.
Oh yeah, it's fucking awful. No, I'm just kidding.
I've got a MySpace filter, so you can't see my British teeth right now.
Yeah, how do you balance like the real life and your deadlines?
I think it's one of those things I kind of like realize because I've been doing commissions like a few years now, which is like I used to say that like, commissions like expect them 1 to 2 months, at least on my like Ko-fi, right? And I changed it to 3 months now as like kind of like, hey, that's like the longest it could take, rather than it will always take 3 months. Because I sort of realized that you don't know when life's going to throw at you things. So although I could get it done before then, what if again I had a dental emergency and like that as an artist, that's kind of like sick pay without the pay, but I knew that I wouldn't be able to work to my like fullest for then. And if I was just there making deadlines as if I was 100% healthy, 100% all the days free, like it just doesn't give you that flexibility for just anything like any sort of any disturbance. So my way of doing that is like always give yourself more time. So for example, the kind of ratio that I do, if I realistically, if I worked every day, it would take a week. I would give myself like 3 weeks, because then you got all those days to like have breaks, see people, like still exist, and then still pick up. Like for example, when I accepted this project, I had commissions I was working on, but those commissions had looser deadlines than yours. So I was then able to postpone some process of another project to make sure this was done, because this is like more time sensitive. So yeah, that's kind of like my advice, is always give yourself longer than you think.
I think at the end of the day, just give yourself more time than you need.
Yeah.
Because you never know what's going to come up.
And it's also like, it's good to have that communication, like avoid ghosting. Like even my Ko-fi members, I was like, hey guys, sorry for the late update. I've been like suffering in the background.
I'm dying over here.
Yeah, because they don't know that. As far as they're like, oh, she's slacking again. Whereas I like, da 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 da. And it's like, no, I mean like, I've got a hole in my mouth. Like,
please give me a break.
Yeah.
We ended up talking a lot about like, our favorite ice creams and our comic book that's going to come out 10 years later, our robot Nepo baby detective story. Do you think like having personal conversations helps the creative partnerships thrive, or do you think it's easier if it's just a rigid like, here's the deadline, here's what I want?
It depends, because I do have clients which are very much like, yep, here's the money, here's what I'd like. And then when I send them an update, it's not like they're cold, but it's very much like, hey, this is great, looking forward to this stage of the process. And that's kind of nice, because I guess it's like, keeps it simple. But I feel like in terms of like a big project, you sort of want that like human aspect of it to bounce ideas back and forth. Like I guess if like if I like sent you like the comic updates or the final piece and you're just like, yep, good, that works for the project, and that was it. It's kind of like I wouldn't be like as excited to do the variant cover, because it's kind of like, so I guess it depends on the project. But usually I do quite like the human aspects, where like clients will just tell me about their holiday they've been on and stuff, like obviously it never should be like a therapy session, but it's just nice to have that like human aspect. And then you could be like, oh, they like nature, so then I'll ask if they want like a natural themed background for their commission. It makes the job more enjoyable. It's okay if people do just want to be like done, But that's
Done,
yeah.
I always hated like rigid clients myself because I always felt like I was like a robot and not much of a human. I don't know if that resonates at all.
Yeah,
That's why I try to treat everybody like a human, but I don't know if that's like I need an everybody to like me personality kind of thing.
okay,
you
I'm very
know?
much like that, so I feel like we have to be both right, because that's how I feel as well.
All right, no more.
Yeah.
No, we don't need to talk about it
That has to be
anymore.
the
We're
right
both
opinion,
right.
because it's what I feel. Yeah, like sometimes I do like, yeah, if it's too robotic, I don't want to say it makes me feel like a whore, but if it's very much like, here's the money, do the job, it's like, it's like, I guess you have bought my time, and now I have to work on this thing. Like, but
yeah, I think
yeah.
I also think like the best work comes out of if the person likes you
Yeah.
in a way. Like if you know if it's a pleasant experience, they're more likely to work with you again, which is what you always want with an artist, I feel.
Yeah. Sorry, how do you feel about the climate about people using websites like Fiverr? Because I feel like the problem with Fiverr is they have no idea who you are. They just want a logo, right? And I feel like one of the reasons I'm kind of fortunate to have so many lovely clients is because they know me from my Resident Evil comics, they know me from my watercolour comics. Like, they know me, and I feel like they're less likely, I guess, to be dickheads to me because there's already that kind of human level to it. Where I feel like when people encourage, like, if you want to be an artist, go on websites like Fiverr, and I feel like that'd be so dehumanizing. It'd probably put me off being an artist. But maybe that's just like me. Like,
so it's pretty interesting. I think that's a great question. Flipping it over on the interviewee or interviewer, I like that. I think, you know, I should have made note. I wish you told me. I would have made notes. No, I'm just kidding. I think, you know, it's, I know. What do I say? So I hope you feel comfortable now that even a masterful interviewer like me, improv artist, still gets
no
caught
pressure.
off
We
guard.
could like save that question for like another interview. Just be like,
no. It is. No, I think it's like I don't know because I do some work with artists on Upwork, and the illustrator for Wand for Hire, that's like a mini series that I do. He's just like he was fantastic. I think this sounds cocky, but I think it's like maybe not, you know, I think I'm an awesome person. No, I think it's
them, like.
I think when you breed just like a environment of like a healthy relationship of like openness and just talking with other people, I think the communication styles are kind of universal, and like everybody's a human. Like I was a magician for a long time. Like I was a professional magician.
Oh my God,
don't know if you know that about me.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
I always have a deck of
Holy
cards.
Shit,
I'm always made it appear. But what I realized from magic was that like we're all like little kids on the inside, and we're all like thriving or looking for a human experience. And I think as long as you bring that, no matter if you're on Fiverr, if you are on Upwork, or if you're just emailing somebody that you like their work, as long as you like say like this is important to me and I want you to be a part of it because I like what you do and I think you bring like gravitas or like something interesting to the project, I think that just resonates with so many people, and people love to hear that shit. Like
that's true. Yeah, go in like with good intentions and be like, hey, I'm authentic and stuff. I'm not just another like artist to hire. I actually genuinely care about what I'm doing, and like, yeah, I think that's a good outlook.
Yeah, you know what? Something that I wanted to touch on. Do you have any tips for clients or creators who struggle to give clear feedback to their artists or collaborators?
I do. So the kind of thing I thought of was like the sandwich technique, which is compliment, critique, and then point direction. It's not really a sandwich because like the two breads are different, but like I think the idea, like if I was a client and someone gave me work that I wasn't like 100%, I guess, happy with, I'd be like, hey, I like that you've done this thing, and then I'd be like, oh, wasn't like the right color scheme or something, or not the right proportions, and then I'd be like, hey, I was kind of thinking of something more dynamic to kind of, you know, so rather than being like overly critical, you're like, that's not what I like, I feel like if you're more gentle with it, if you're more constructive with it, you're more likely to get better results because the person feels like, again, it's like human treatment, rather than just being like, because at the end of the day, you want them to do a good job, and you want, you know, who knows, future work with them. I don't want like them to leave the interaction feeling negative or pissed off. So definitely try and sandwich your constructive feedback with like positive affirmations, yeah, something like that.
Reinforcement. Yeah, we got there.
Yeah, and then it's also like, and then for you as a client, judging by their reaction, if they get like a whiff of criticism and they react in an emotional way, you know that's not an artist that you want to work with. Like, I feel like,
Oh my god.
as a professional artist, you should be able to handle, just, if you're just there like, oh, why do I involve? I don't know what an emotional artist would say, but they'd probably just be like, what the fuck are you talking about? My work. This is exactly what you asked for. It's not my fault. You gave me the wrong thing. Like,
yeah. Work with your clients, and also, it's a compliment sandwich because you do a compliment, feedback, direction, and then another compliment at the end. So the breads are the same.
That's clever.
There you go.
Like
that's what I do. If you look back at art, I don't use this at all.
The secret is artists love being complimented. Okay, so if you just rub their ego, they're gonna work better. Like.
Yeah, they just need a morsel of appreciation.
Crumbs. I'm like. Like the worst anatomy I've ever seen, and then be like, but your art's, I like your email signature or something.
I like the shading in this one, but fix the face, please.
Yeah, but fix everything else. Like.
What's one small thing a client can do to make you as an artist feel more appreciated?
I like the fact that when we were working on the project, you acknowledged the fact that it wasn't like a really like small time frame, but it was very much like, hey, I'm looking for an artist. I kind of need it done by here. Would that be something that you could work with? So I like the fact it was like acknowledging that it was like, I guess like acknowledge time restraints, and then like I like the fact that it was always like you were really quick with emails. I really like that. As an artist, that's good because it makes you feel like there's not much like time waiting and pondering whether they think it's bad or not and stuff. So it also kind of like it's nice because it makes you feel like your time's being respected and stuff, rather than like, oh hey, I forgot I commissioned you. Like you reply like 3 weeks later, like yeah, it's doing good or whatever. Like, but yeah, just make the artist be like, hey, sound excited about their work. Hopefully it's authentic, but like just be like, hey, I really like this, or like I like the fact you weren't just like, hey, that's good, do the next stage. It was like, hey, I like it because of this, or wow, I really like how the shading turned out. It's like you feel seen, you feel like your skills are being like appreciated. Like obviously there's like the financial side, but like it shouldn't just be like finances in like an ideal world. It should also be like genuine, like this is work I'm enjoying, this is be nice.
I think it's be nice. Please be nice to me. That's the underlying tone of the whole thing. Well, I guess that answers the last question. What is the biggest secret to great creative partnerships that you wish everyone knew? And I think that it's just be nice to each other. Treat everybody like humans.
Be nice.
Pretty
be open-minded, and have like some flexibility. Like don't be too rigid, but don't be too, you have to find a balance. And I feel like one of the reasons I really enjoyed the project was because you were flexible with ideas, but not to the point where you lose your side of the vision and stuff. It felt like I could bring your work to life without it. I felt like I could show my art style the way I liked it, and you could do and it could show your punchline and stuff. It feels like, be flexible, be open-minded, and then back to nice.
And just be a great collaborator. I think that's where we kind of thrived together, is just like we worked at it. It felt like both of our things, we both owned it. It's not just like I am commissioning you to do this, do it exactly how I want. It's like I came to you for your expertise, and I want you to make this as much as it is mine, as make it yours as much as it is mine. I quite like doing that. It's also like that open communication where I felt like I asked you like, hey, for this panel, what would you like in the background, or so it was like one of the panels was like a rat in it because we thought it'd be a fun Easter egg and stuff, but because it was like good communication rather than leaving like large gaps between process and stuff, it's like mutual encouragement and respect was the other thing that I wrote down, which I think is like the good secret. It's like more than one secret, but I think that's the biggest secret is just be nice and be someone you like, and hopefully they're the same way.
And just like vibe checks.
I've definitely stopped like responding to people because I was like, I don't really, maybe not. I was like, I politely decline. Like I don't think this is gonna work out on the long term. Your vibes are dog shit. Why do you suck? Were you not bullied at all as a kid? Maybe we should bring bullying back. I don't know.
To be like dog shit vibes.
And it would be valid. It would be very valid.
Like PayPal would have your back. Be like, that is like, let's go against our rules actually. Like,
Yeah, in the terms of service, it says don't have dog shit vibes. So you should have read him.